Hello, welcome to this video series. In this, we are going to explore not just distortion, but guitar distortion. So, yeah, what is this video series going to explore? So we're going to look at a couple different types of methods for creating guitar distortion. We will first start with a good old fuzz pedal that I just kind of have laying around. And it's always been kind of an interesting pedal because it has just an enormous amount of distortion. It's very high gain. It's clipping very hard. And so, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is have this pedal be kind of this like bench. Oh, there goes my multimeter. What I want it to be is this kind of benchmark for, distortion and, kind of characterizing its behavior in the time domain and, kind of its like spectral shaping. So this pedal is kind of a kind of early days for a more well-known pedal designer now, but somehow I kind of got it in my arsenal of guitar stuff from a friend probably 15 years ago. So yeah, we'll kind of talk about the circuit, and it's a common fuzz pedal circuit. It's not anything particularly novel. But yeah, I do want to kind of talk about, the way in which it is generating distortion, the way it's, clipping and doing rectification. So, that will be kind of this like, benchmark. The next thing that we're going to do then is we're actually going to try to emulate it via a method that I've been playing around with a little bit, which is this Chow DSP BYOD plugin, which stands for Build Your Own Distortion. I've been kind of playing around with this this plugin as kind of like a sandbox for generating new distortion, algorithms, and just trying to, really mock up a distortion quickly. You can spend a lot of time in the analog domain or in DSP, kind of refining the way you want a distortion to sound. And so I'm kind of taking it from a different viewpoint of starting big picture of like, what kind of distortion do I want? So yeah, we'll kind of talk about that. So, again, we've got a pedal, but I've got old fuzz pedal laying around. It will kind of be the sonic benchmark. And then we're going to try to emulate that pedal in this Chow DSP plugin. So yeah, that'll be a whole video there. Talking about the pedal itself will be a video. And then we will move into actually simulating the pedal in a program called LiveSpice, which is very cool. Kind of, if you're used to like spice modeling, this is kind of like a really cool middle ground between doing analog, circuit design, and also being able to immediately use the use that layout as a plugin. So we'll build up the schematic in Live Spice and kind of do a comparison to the analog version. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll actually try to emulate the pedal in MATLAB. So this is something that I've been kind of playing around with for a little bit, and MATLAB has some really cool features for specifically for audio applications, but actually making VST plugins within MATLAB. And so you can basically put in the DSP code you want for whatever kind of effect you're trying to make. In our case, it's a distortion pedal, and then we can we can come up with an algorithm in MATLAB, export it to a VST, and then basically have a plugin pretty quickly. So that to me, that's kind of the cleanest way to deploy for me, because I'm not a C++ programmer. MATLAB is a little bit straight to the point for my purposes. This is not going to be a sexy looking plugin at all, but it will function. So, and then we will also do a video on neural network training using the neural amp modeling technology that Stephen Atkinson, I think that's his name, has been kind of working on for the last couple years. To me, this is like a very efficient way of capturing the sonic characteristic of some nonlinear device. It's pretty amazing. I'm not a neural net kind of expert, but I know how to capture the sound of a pedal and put it through its they have a Google Colab document that you can use to generate a file and then run it as a VST. So we'll do that. I think that's a great solution if you have gear laying around that you want to capture a neural net kind of replica of, and deploy it to the internet or whoever your friends so they can also play it. That's very cool. My only gripe with that is that, you really are kind of limited to just capturing things that exist already. I'm trying to come up with a kind of an efficient way of coming up with new distortion, kind of sounds. Because ultimately, I think where I'd like to take all this is kind of more leaning into like higher gain distortion algorithms, and basically making them in MATLAB and exporting them as VSTs. That's probably where I'm headed with this, but that's my assumption right now. But I think that there is a lot of cool options and tools right now, and we're gonna explore all of these in separate videos. So yeah, looking forward to hanging out with you guys more, and I hope you get something out of this. Okay, thank you.